Welcome to the changelog for Superfactory Manager 4.15.0. So we'll just go through the list, alias each to every when parsing set operators. If we look at the example for if statements, then we can see you can do every and each. And this is actually an old change, but I don't think I mentioned it until now. So every and each do the same thing. And then move disk warning update trigger from tick to manager open. So when you have a problem in your program, so if I say, let's do be there, then it says labels are assigned in the world but not defined or whatever. And this used to be calculated every couple ticks, but now it's just calculated when you open the manager and when you change the program. Add warning for smelly round robin usage. If we load a simple program and then say input from a round robin by block, so let's assume that we had a few inventories labeled A and outputting to B. Then that would pull from each inventory on every other tick, or every other time the manager ticks. Let's change this to input 1. Then it's going to pull from these alternating. And if you add each to this, then this doesn't make sense, because this changes the behavior. And if we get rid of the round robin, then you'll see what each would do. So each of these inventories is getting one pulled and then two are arriving here. But if you combine that, then that doesn't make sense. So it now correctly warns you when that happens. And then add warning for smelly pattern expansion usage. So if we have a statement like input 1 star ingot, then that would match any ingot. And if we say each ingot, then that would move one of every type of ingot. And that keyword is usable. So if we say Minecraft iron ingots, then that doesn't make sense. So now it should warn for that, and it does. And then add mod game info to clipboard diagnostics. So if you have a problem with the program and you hit that button, then it will add some additional info that was previously not here. So now when people put logs, it will include some important info about what version the mod is. So we go back to the changelog. Add each side alias. So if you have a power cube or from thermal expansion and a mechanism cube, then we can pull energy from the top here. And you can say output to each side, so that is new. What's going on here? Label A is connected to the world, not detected as a valid inventory. That's strange. So it is receiving power. Pulled labels. I don't know why that's not getting rid of this label. There we go. So in the program, we're saying input from the top side and then output forge energy to each side of the B inventory. And if we look at this, then each side technically includes the null direction, which some inventories have different behavior for. So that's why it's inputting, even though none of these are actually set to input. But if we add all of these to input, then it'll actually start accepting a lot more. So that's the each side alias. And then let's see here. Spoiler for the change as well. Look at that program. Forge energy now has an alias with FE, RF, energy, and power. Improve error logging when resource voiding detected. This rarely happens, but when it does happen, then it will give more info about what items are being voided. Fix bug where programs worked without inventory cables. Yes. So if we had a setup like A and B, then this shouldn't work if we have a simple program inputting from A to B, because this is not a cable. But if we make it a cable, then it should work. So that was caused by a missing check, and that should be fixed now. Control label again now applies to kitty corner. So if you have a bunch of inventories on some cables, I want to label all of these as B. Holding control and right clicking will apply it to all of them. And now that also includes inventories at the corners. Add config for minimum tick time. That is a requested feature. In the program, usually it's max, or you need at least 20 ticks between each statement. So if I reduce that, it's going to give us a warning. And there's now a config option for that. So we go, oops. So there's now a trigger minimum interval in ticks that can be modified. And additionally, there's a special case where if you're just moving energy, it will allow you to specify an even lower amount. So we say BA, and we want to move forge energy. Then this, because it's only moving energy, we can specify a 1 tick interval. So with the thermal expansion stuff, there's a rate limit on how much they can accept or move per tick. So if you're only moving energy, then this lets you do that. So if we say output items to B, then this will complain because only for forge energy by default will it let you do lower. And then to move tick faster if only moving energy, and then fix anvils causing problems when quitting the world. So for the crafting of stuff, the mod adds anvil falling recipes, and that was causing crashes when people were saving their worlds, and hopefully that's fixed now. And that's the summary of the changelog, so you can view the changes as in the examples. There's that changelog that goes over everything we just covered.